Let's have more fun with Docker. So this time we are going to containerize a scheduler app which is written by me, and that app we will containerize it and we will deploy that into Ubuntu server using node service, and this is our example 8. Okay, and the steps that we are going to follow is, I'm going to write here, example 8, containerizing scheduler app. Okay, so now so what are the steps here? So first, step 1, get the source code to create a GitHub repository. Okay, and get the source code. Third, connect a remote repo with the local repo where source code is present. And fourth, write a Docker file in our local machine using VS Code. And 5, and push this to remote repo. Then 5, clone the remote repo into the Docker server or Ubuntu server. For that we have to install git. Then after cloning, so build the Docker image, and 7, run the Docker image, run or spin the Docker container defined by the Docker image. This is what we are going to do here. So let me begin by creating a GitHub repository. For that, yeah, here is my GitHub repository. Now let me click on new. So I'm going to create new repository saying Docker scheduler app deployment. Make it public, add a readme file, create a repository, and copy this. So now the first step has been done. So let me mark this one. Underline this. It's done. Then let's get into the source code. So my source code is here. So here I'm gonna open our, okay, or else what will, I'll just open Visual Studio Code, new window. So clone a repository first, clone a repository, clone a repository, a remote repository. What is that? That's Docker scheduler app deployment. Let me cross check it. Yeah, Docker scheduler app deployment, correct. Click on it, and I have to find the destination, so I'm gonna give the destination now. So here it is, like projects Docker, and it is scheduler. Yeah, so this is what. So now it's getting cloned. Keep it in the same window. Open it. Yes. Close the get started. Now let me get into that repository once and place all these things in the specific. So now, yeah, so this is our source code repository. So before I add this, okay, let us first add these new changes. 41 changes are there. Let me click on add. So it's been added. Now add all the source code files and commit. So say sync changes. Now let's get into the, yeah, still it's syncing the changes, or basically we can say it's pushing the changes into the remote repository. It's done. The changes has been pushed into the remote repository. It's done. You can see the source code and package.json and all the other stuff. So let me get back to this and click on files explorer. Now here you have package.json. So let me put either scheduler or just normal app is also fine. I'll say app 101 license and dependencies, all dependencies related to that right here. So everything, it's completely package.json. Then we have source. Here you have index.js. So this is main JavaScript. You can see that app dot get is one we are using, post, put, delete. So these are to add items and get items, update items and delete items. This is the main purpose of this application. So we'll show that. So this is the backend. JavaScript is backend for us now at this moment. So this is gonna do this, and front end I am gonna show. This is index.html. This is our front end. This is a front end of our application, and you will find cs styles.css. This is a friend. This is a styling template. This is our styling templates, and inside that you can see the rules. Here you have seen the classes and tags, and here you could see the style rules. So this is our static front end, and then back end both, and this is index.js is the main one, and this is static. And here you could find routes. Add item, to add item it's going to use this. To delete an item, get item. So these are all routes. And a persistent, to make the persistent data persistent, you need a databases. So we have taken SQLite database. This is SQLite database schema. Then this is MySQL. You see that MySQL constants, MySQL host file, MySQL user, and MySQL password file DB. So these are all environment variables or constants. And so here it started, and this is MySQL schema. And index.js, if else the connections between if process.env is MySQL host, then module.exports require a MySQL database, or else if it is module.exports then you require a SQLite. So this is how you switch from one databases to other databases, and this is how you connect your front end. We have till now we have seen static web pages, we haven't seen an application. We have seen a static websites. So this is called an application. So specific application, it's a dynamic application. You can input the data and that data will be stored in your databases. For that it's written, a schema has been written to make your data persistent. Okay, you have seen this is how an application, a dynamic application is built. You will have a front end, you see that front end, and a back end, main template, and then routes and persistence, that the databases to store the data. You could see all three modules. This is called a dynamic application. And you will have a package.json which handles which connects all together. That's called npm. Here we have used an npm node related package manager, and it connects all together. They have dependencies, Protea, and dependencies MySQL, SQLite, UID, all those things. So let me save this. So now, yeah, here I'm gonna write a Docker file. That is our Docker file. Yeah, you can see the symbol, Docker file symbol. So let's begin now. We'll begin with from and from. So which base image you want to take? Node base image with 18 Alpine tag. Okay, done. So our base image is done. That means so node, because we are using npm to package everything. So the package.json, so npm we are using, so we have taken from node. Then after that, label project AI tech project. So label is done. Now let's set work directory. You know work directory. So the work directory I'm gonna give is / just app. This is going to be our work directory inside the container. Then copy nothing dot space dot. So whatever is there inside this present working directory should be copied into the work directory that is mentioned inside the container. What is the work directory? / app is the work directory, and whatever is there in this directory, present working directory, should be copied into the / app. That's what we are telling. That's what activity is going to happen there. Then so now let's run some shell commands. Run, and anyway we have arn.lock. So arn and install. What do you want to install here? I want to arn install production. Done. So our almost image level instructions are done. Now it's time to give cmd. So you see that cmd, it's an executable. Once you spin your container, whatever you mentioned inside the cmd will be executed. So what all are there for us? Node, because node, you see that your node, and it will be running node and space and src forward slash index.js. That's it. You node will come into the picture, and it will find the src inside the src directory. You see that? I'll show you. You see, you go there. So src, you will find index.js. So it's saying node will come into the picture, and it will execute this one, or it will execute this file. So then whatever is there in this file and whatever is connected with this file, so when you run a dynamic web application, so index.js is very important, because all will be connected with this. All will, you see that? For example, constant to get items, you require this. So in this directory you will find a routes directory. In that, the get item is written. I will go there and I'll show you. You see that? Get item.js. So when this way, all will be attached to this index.js. Everything app.get. So again, forward slash items, and you'll get items, and all will be attached to this. So that's how it's worked. So index.js is the main file, and all so how it will be connected to the database through routes, and routes will be attached to the persistence database. That's how it works. So for us, index.js is very important. Okay, and here you can see initialization of db. So app.listen, when app starts, and db should be initialized. So let's get into the docker file. So that's what we are saying. So we will give this command, node command space and source index.js. That's what, execute this. And finally, let's expose this to port 3000. That's it. Our docker file is ready. So let me mark these things. Get the source code is done. Connect the remote repo with the source code is also done, and write the docker file in the local machine using VS Code is done. Now it's time to push this to remote repo. Let me save this and click on source control. Two pending changes are there. So you see, two pending changes are there. So let me click on stage all changes, add these changes to staging area, and these changes has been added to the staging area. Now let me give committing docker file and commit. So sync changes, yes, it's done. Now let me get into our repository. Here it is. This is your docker file, you see. So now let me go one step back. Now this step is also done. So underline this. Now it's time to clone the remote repo in the Docker server or Ubuntu server. Okay. So but before that, we have to install GitHub. So let me go there. Okay, it's gone. Sudo I and clear. So let me install app. Let's check whether we have Git or not. Yeah, Git is there. We don't need to install. So now let me clone this. Git clone, and take the http URL, https clone URL. No, but I'll find a place first. Home, Ubuntu, and Docker exercise examples. Here you have welcome app. So let me create one more directory. Make there. So web application. Web application. So cd web application ls. So here I'm gonna clone it. Git clone and URL of this. Yes. Now let me click enter. So cloning into Docker scheduler app deployment. So it's done. So now let me see Docker scheduler app deployment. So now let me enter into that. So clear the screen and ls lrt. You see that src spec package.json readme.mg is not important for us. Docker file arm.lock. So all the required files are there. We have source code and we have everything. So we have done this step also. Now it's time to build the Docker. So but before we build the Docker, let's cross check whether we have cloned all the required source code or not. So let me quickly look into ls src. Okay, index.js, this is main very important file. It is there. And persistence databases routes which connects index.js with the persistence, and static which gives front end, basically user interface and styling. Okay, and this is what our main file, so it's there, so we don't need to worry. So rest all it's fine. So let's do cat docker file one more time and let's check. So label project AI check, Alpine work there, copy. So everything is fine, I guess. Nothing to worry. Copy from this directory. So all these files, copy all these files from this directory and paste it into this directory, that forward slash app in the container. Okay. So now it's time to build the image. ls, you see docker is in the same directory, so now I'm gonna run docker build option t, that says you can tag. So option t, after that I have to give tag the image. So the name I'm gonna give is cube charan forward slash, this is scheduler scheduler yeah, scheduler is enough, and version 1. Yeah, it's fine, huh? Scheduler. So scheduler is fine, version 1. And where is docker file is in this present working directory. So I will say dot, then enter. So it's started building. So step 1 by 7 is from node. It's gonna pull this node. So it's pulling all the layers of node. Then uh, the second step is labeling the project, and third step is workday app, that's also set. Then copying all the files which are in present working directory into the forward slash app directory of the container. Okay, then command, this is just copied like that, it's not been executed. So expose it to the 3000. So finally successfully the image has been built with this image id, and it's successfully tagged with this image name. So let me check docker images, and you see that scheduler, this is what, just 28 seconds ago our scheduler is ready. So now let us clear the screen and let's give me the let me give you the status. So building the docker image is also done. So now it's time to run the docker container defined by the docker image. So docker run name, then name of the container is scheduler 1, that's version 1, this is 1. And detached mode port, okay, last time we give 80 and 80. So 7,000 I'll give this time, or 3,000. We'll map 3,000 of host with 3,000 of container. Then image name is cube charan forward slash scheduler and version 1. Okay, scheduler. Yeah, let's see. Yes, it's done. So docker ps, let's check. You see, cube charan scheduler v1, that's the image name. And where is the name of the container? I couldn't. Yeah, here, the scheduler 1, this is the name of the container. 3000 is mapped with the 3000. Let me cross check whether the application has been properly copied or not. So to do that, I had to use docker exec it, that is interactive with terminal. Then name of the container is scheduler 1 and bin bash. There is something wrong. Okay, this is nginx, no bin bash, no bin bash. So then I have to give sh. Okay, see, work there we have mentioned. Let me show it parallelly, so then you will get more clarity. And where is my, yeah, let me make it other off, then close this one. Okay, now you see, work there, this is our work there, this is our work there forward slash app. So where did we land up? We landed in the forward slash app. That's what I'm saying. When you enter inside your container terminal, it will lead you to the forward slash app in the same directory what you have mentioned in the workdir command. Okay, so then let's check the ls. Oh, congrats. Docker file spec readme.md src node modules lock pack.json, everything has been copied. Everything has been copied, no issue at all. Okay, so as src is there, means obviously it's gonna run index.js. So I'm pretty confident now. So now let us get into the browser and take the public IP of this and use 9000. So this is one container which is running continuously that we have deployed it. So I will put 3000 and see what's gonna happen. See the magic. Here it is. Here it is. I hope you like this. I designed it well. Did you do you like it? Okay. Uh, don't look into the user interface. Just okay. I hope you like the user interface also. This is the scheduler app that I have built. Uh, of course, I have used some boilerplate templates of HTTP and HTML and CSS Java, but that's okay. But the main functionality of this application is scheduler. Okay, so this is my this is my website, and a very simple way to create and schedule your task. So now I will add. So today now I'm working on Docker. So now next item is to work on Kubernetes. So Kubernetes, next is Kubernetes or K8s. So K8s is next item. So let me add this item. So K8s had been added. Now after the K8s, Postman has been added. Now after the Postman, I have to work on SonarQube. SonarQube for the static code analysis. So this is how you add your items, and whenever you want, You can come and you can cross check if this is done. You just mark it done, mark it done, mark it. So as it is done, you can delete it or you don't need to delete it. So I will unmark this now. At this moment it's not required. So whatever has so far has been done, that I will mark it. So done, Linux is done, I'll mark it. And DevOps fundamentals, DevOps basics, done, I will mark it. And Git is done, I will mark that too. And after Git, we have worked on networking. That's also done. So let me mark networking also. Then after networking, we moved to Maven, Jenkins, Packer, Terraform, Ansible, and few other tools. Vagrant, of course, we did not use Vagrant here, but I will take. I will do one or two videos on Vagrant also, because that is also useful. But it's creating a virtual machines. I don't think it is much useful. But if somebody wants to know Vagrant, I will make one or two videos. It's not that difficult. It's very easy. So Vagrant is done. Vagrant. Okay, this I'll remove this. We will do it later. Ansible is done. Terraform is done. Packer is done. Jenkins. Okay, spelling is wrong. That's okay. Maven is done. Networking, Git, DevOps basic, Linux, and even Agile and waterfalls and SDLC. So all these topics are done. So as this is a scheduler app, na? This is as a to-do scheduler app. So that's the reason. So now let me write what all to be done now. So K8, Postman, SonarCube, Jap or Zapier, and yeah, Zapier, K8, Postman, SonarCube, and Mega Projects. That's it. These 5 items to be completed. So rest all done. Oh, we have completed so many tools. So many tools. It's a big DevOps tool stack. I hope you are liking it. Anyway, so this is our scheduler app. This consists of a database and all will be stored, and you can see that it's an application. It's a dynamic application. Of course, we have attached some static content also, just for the visual appeal. Okay, I hope you really liked it. So now let us get back to our. So running Docker container is also done, and we have accessed the containerized application through browser over internet and validated the functioning of the scheduler app or scheduler or to do app. Okay, this is also done. So now it's time to get into our server once again, and let's check sudo option I clear and docker ps. where is that? Scheduler 1 is fantastically running, and oh, at this moment, three applications are running in this. Okay, one is Clean Work 1, which is containerized application. Okay, Clean 1 8080 9000 3000. So total three applications are running. Okay, let's check it now. One is 9000, other one is 8080. So this one is 9000. Yes, it's working. So let me copy this and put it in another browser. Basically, that's the magic of a container Docker. Yeah, brilliant. From one server, three applications are brilliantly running. You see that? One, two, three. Superb. So let's get back to the server again. Now let me give Docker images. Oh, huge amount of images are there. But this is the latest one, na? V1. So now the last step or bonus step after building the image, after running the image, what is the bonus step? It is to push the image to Docker Hub. Let's do that. Docker push image name kubectl scheduler version 1 and click enter. So preparing, waiting, and it's pushing. I think it might take some time. Let's wait for that. Yes, it's done. You can see the digest. So it's been digested into a Docker Hub. So let me get into the Docker Hub. Here it is. Here is the Docker Hub. Let me refresh it and we should be able to see that. Yes, that's it. Here is the image. Anybody, even you or somebody else, anybody can pull this image and then just by running you can deploy one application. See the magic, man. See the power of Docker. I have built it. I have set it everything, source code and everything. What you have to do is you just pull the image or you just simply run this image from your server. That's it. It's gonna deployed. It's going to be deployed into the server and then you can access that application through your browser over the internet. That's the power of Docker. That's how it makes our life so easy, damn easy. So with this we have done the eighth activity also. Let me mark this and let me get into the slides. So with this, the example 8, the Docker file for scheduler app has been successfully written, pushed into the GitHub, cloned into the server, then image has been built, then container has been spun, and application has been accessed through browser over the internet.